Meanwhile, the National Social Investment Program Establishment Bill 2022 has been approved by the Federal Executive Council. This is to give legal backing to the social welfare initiatives of the federal government aimed at alleviating poverty amongst the vulnerable populations. Also approved is the National Flood Emergency Preparedness and Response Plan for Nigeria as part of efforts towards mitigating the impact of the natural disaster on the society. The Minister of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development, Sadia Umar Farouk, announced these at a media briefing after the Council's meeting. State House correspondent Adam Sombo again reports.
The hybrid council meeting, presided over by President Muhammadu Buhari, deliberated extensively on the impact of the various social investment programs on poverty alleviation and economic development. Sustainability, the ministers say, is key towards achieving government's objectives of lifting 100 million Nigerians out of poverty by the year 2030. And this informed the unanimous approval of the National Social Investment Program Establishment Bill 2022, presented by the Minister of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development, Sadia Umar Farouk.
You are all aware that poverty in our country, especially amongst the poor and vulnerable in Nigeria, is a serious issue. The performance of the NCIP since inception in 2016 to date, under the administration of His Excellency President Muhammadu Buhari, through the 4 cluster programs of Empower, JEEP, Conditional Cash Transfer, and the National Homegrown School Feeding Program, have been appreciated by Nigerians. Therefore, government decision is very apt. This is a pro-poor bill. It's a bill that will go a long way in addressing the issues of poverty, vulnerabilities, and all other issues that affect our poor and vulnerable in this country.
The National Flood Emergency Preparedness and Response Plan, approved by the Council, on the other hand, is aimed at mitigating the possible effect of flooding incidents across Nigeria.
This plan sets out clear roles and responsibility of each stakeholder involved in flood preparedness, mitigation, response, and recovery. This plan comes at a time where floods are at its peak and the impact is leading to the loss of lives, destruction of properties, stagnation of livelihood, and damage to our environment. We call on all states and operational stakeholders to implement the plan so that we can return to normalcy and protect our national development.
The National Flood Emergency Preparedness and Response Plan, the minister explained, seeks to make Nigeria more resilient in tackling flood disasters through effective response measures, leveraging on existing tools as well as human and financial resources. From the State House, Adamu Sambu, NTA News.